We normally do this like with a little video feed, but if you don't want to be on video, we can just put a little picture in or something.
Something like got fucked up with my webcam a while ago, and I've just like never cared to fix it. I'm also just like generally against video calls.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I don't even like being on a video podcast. I don't like having to think about like wearing the same clothes 2 times in a row or something.
I like it. It makes me feel like a piece of meat.
I don't like it at all.
I finally get to be sexy.
I just like. I think it's like it makes sense when the show's a visual component, but like for our show, it's like, what the fuck are we, fresh and fit?
I feel like pressure to drop little images in all the time. Like I'll be like, we mentioned Venom. Do I go get Venom?
Yeah. What if no one knows who that is?
Do I need a transparent Venom? Will people be mad if there's a background?
I just like a podcast that doesn't have a visual component, but they're like on video anyway. It just like it reminds me of those podcasts that exist just for like engagement bait, where it's like the same setup of like 2 guys and then like 6 girls that they hate, and they're like, what's a hypothetical? And the girl says what it is, and they're like, you stupid bitch.
That couldn't be more wrong. You have not slept with that many men. What drove me crazy is when I found out that those aren't even real shows.
Yeah,
they're not. They're just making those clips and then being like, okay, thank you. There's not even a real show you can listen to. You can't listen to the We Hate Women show.
And I want
no matter how much you want to.
And this is what I don't like about it. It exists purely to make me upset, which makes it an adversary of mine.
You keep searching on fucking Apple Podcasts for it.
Where are you? Where's Andrew Tate? Okay, we're gonna dance now. Please hold. And with the sound of the robot, you're back in the Quora Zone, live on the Quorators podcast. It's Alex and Jeremy.
What's going on?
What the fuck is up? Monday morning. Do you like this running joke I'm doing where I do the weather at the beginning, or does that make you upset? I don't know what it's going to be. It's wrong every time.
You know, I'll say this real quick before we introduce our guest. We have a live show on August 24th that people should go to, and we keep forgetting to plug it.
Yeah, it's pretty important to do it now, or we will not remember. And we need you to come, or we'll be alone in a lounge.
Oh, how sad would that be?
That's at Caveat Bar and Grill, the #1 PowerPoint-based comedy show location.
Buy food there.
Please come, August 24th. Ticket link, theoretically, in the description. What a week it is on June 21st.
I just got my tattoo that says "Go Modi Forever," Eternal Prime Minister of India. I haven't read the news.
His power is only waxing. And who is that you hear on the other line, by the way? You had him at Modi support. It's Felix Biederman from the Chapo Trap House podcast. Felix?
Hey, just got back from campaigning for BJP, and boy, are my arms tired.
Did you see the Monkey Man movie?
I have not.
No, what is that?
Okay, so it was a Dev Patel movie. It came out like a month or two ago.
Oh, right.
The John Wick kind of thing.
He punches everyone in the world.
Yes.
In it.
Isn't that Jet Li movie, fucking Unleashed? The movie that Jet Li tried to make where like he was like, all right, I made Hero 7 years ago and everyone liked that, but what if I tried to become a dramatic actor and I'm in a movie with Bob Hoskins? And he plays a guy who is raised as he's a person, but they raised him as a dog, but they also taught him like martial arts. It's really a stupid movie.
Wait, you're saying this is that movie? Like Monkey Man is the dog raised movie.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like Dev Patel.
He's not a monkey, if that's what you're saying.
Well, who is the Monkey Man?
That's kind of the question of the film.
He fights with the honor of a monkey, I believe, is the implication.
I think we're all kind of the Monkey Man.
No, it's definitely him, but he's not literally a monkey.
Oh, they didn't raise him as an animal? That's stupid. Why would I watch that?
No, he's just some piece of shit. But
Why do they like he has no actual like social relations to monkeys?
they keep showing you the monkey god, Hanuman, I think is his name. Close. I know we've worked together before, Hanuman. And
What is that supposed to do for me? I've never met that guy.
it's a loose tie-in, to be sure, because they show you Hanuman, then they show you Dev Patel, and they're like, "Isn't this kind of like that?" And it's like, not super, not really. They both fight.
It sounds like a really loose, bad premise. He should have just like made the Jet Li movie. He should have just been like, "Hey, this was my idea."
Wait, so
remember that movie? Remember that movie that no one saw? I did it. It's mine.
I'm a dog now.
Yeah.
Is this what you wanted? And it's a political statement.
That movie's so fucking dumb. He's like, like, they're like, it's Carrie Condon and Morgan Freeman. They like find Jet Li. He's like, I don't know, like licking his nuts or something. And they're like, hey, this human dog seems like he's good at fighting. Let's teach him piano. And Morgan Freeman's like, you're not a dog, Danny. And Jet Li's like, woof.
So wait, Jet Li thinks he's a dog?
He falls in love with like Carrie Condon because she teaches him how to play piano. And then Bob Hoskins like, there you are, my bloody dog. I killed your mom, by the way.
Felix,
And
I'm
then
fully
he just beats
sold.
he beats the shit out of everyone. And then they're like, and then Jet Li lived happily ever after with Morgan Freeman and his daughter in this movie.
I'm sold on the premise. Like, you telling me about it makes me want to see it, but I'm hearing it's bad.
What's it called? I'm gonna look it up.
It's called like Unleashed or some shit.
It's called Unleashed.
That is what you should call it. Oh shit! I've definitely seen this at like a Hollywood video.
Yeah. It was one of those movies where like I saw the trailer for it when I was like 15 or 14, and I was like, this looks great. I loved Hero. And I torrented it, obviously, like in the golden age of torrenting, and I still felt like I had wasted money on it.
Yeah, that's hard.
It was written and directed by sex criminal Luc Besson. Oh, he just wrote it. Sorry.
Right. It has all of his ideas.
That was before Luc Besson did all those things.
This was actually what made him do it.
Yeah. After he wrote Unleashed, he was like, all right, it's time to get dirty.
To get into the mind of the
dog.
To get into the mind of the dog to write that script, it made him irreversibly a terrible person.
He's wagging his tail. I have to say why I even brought up Monkey Man, which is that
I forgot that was
I just like obsessive compulsively need to say it's because there's a BJP thing in it and they had to change it for Netflix. Good, I said it.
Okay.
It wasn't for no reason.
What was it?
They had all these like BJP flags or something in the background, and then they tried to release it in America, and all the like American Indian lobbying like firms were like, we will blow up your corporation.
Oh.
There's no way we'll let you get away with this. And he was
People
like, actually,
ride-
it's the Communist Party. They're the problem.
People ride so hard for BJP in like America, and it's like, we don't know what that is. Like, you don't have to what would happen at this Netflix movie that will not be watched directly by anyone? This is literally only going to be on in the background. Maybe someone's grandfather or stepdad is going to watch it on their iPad, but it will not be directly observed by anyone.
Well, here's what got me about it is I watched the movie. The flags are a very small part of it. You do not pay much attention to those flags.
BJP guys like go so hard over that shit. Like they killed that guy in Canada, and it's like, can you guys fucking not do like India stuff here?
I think this is the perfect segue.
We have our own things. Can you like complain about like Bud Light or hamburgers?
Speaking of doing Indian things here, we have to talk about Quora because that is the podcast.
That is an India thing.
That's right.
Just by the numbers, from what I've been reading, it's India's website. So we have like a theme and everything for a week. Before we get into the Quora, we've been doing an advice segment as a cynical ploy to attract YouTube listeners. So we're going to play that now. That is, of course, tips for non-binary people. Tips for them. Tips for them.
That's an NBS lick.
Thanks, man. Off the top of your head, do you have any tips for non-binary people?
Yeah, I do actually.
Figured you might.
If you ever find yourself piloting a MiG-29 and you want to do a Pukachev's Cobra, you can do that. You can do it. It is maneuverable enough to do that. But if you want to do Probst turn or any of the other things, if you want to do a Colbit, you're not going to be able to unless it's a MiG-29 OVT with thrust vectoring. So if you're a non-binary pilot, please pay attention to what MiG-29 model you are in.
Planes have gotten so advanced, and my one question about planes is: can you still not do them if you're colorblind, or have they like worked on that?
Yeah, I think if you even have like an eyelash, if an eyelash has ever fallen into your eye, they won't let you drive a plane.
They're too expensive. Frankly, I have a soundboard with 8 colors on it, and I cannot use it correctly. So I can only imagine if it was in charge of my engines.
If you could kill someone with it.
Yeah. You can, if you're rich enough, you can buy a decommissioned military plane, and they can't stop you. You can have the shittiest vision ever, and you can still be like, I'm flying my MiG-29 over a school zone. And they're like, okay.
Look at me. I'm crashing into a building at 700 miles an hour.
Green and brown are the same to me.
Why didn't Hunter S. Thompson go out doing that?
How did he go out?
He
he just shot himself.
But his ashes got shot out of a cannon is what I was saying.
Yeah,
that was a little cartoony. A little bit much.
Yeah, Hunter Thompson's last words, I don't want to be an American idiot, are forever etched in our minds.
Truer words were never spoken. And it does bring us into the theme for the day. We've started theming the episodes to kind of give them a binding structure. This week's theme is the Operator's Handbook. We'll be doing questions about top-tier members of our society and how they operate.
That's right.
Before we get into that, we like to ask a question at the beginning of the show, and then we answer it. We ask a question at the end of the show, and then we check to see if we got any answers last time. What was our question last week, Jeremy?
Last time, inspired by the New Yorker, we said, what if a dog went to therapy?
Okay, back on dogs.
that is a topic that the New Yorker they are really on that.
Yeah,
that is their number one issue.
They're like investigative journalists to figuring out which animals go to therapy and how they would respond.
They're going to do a spotlight movie about the real dog that went to therapy.
It's the number one issue for median income New Yorkers because they all have dogs that do not get to leave their box apartment. And they're very sad.
I lived on the Upper West Side. They actually, it's no, you can't do it as a joke anymore. They actually do that. They give their dog Xanax and shit. That's
really upsetting to me. I don't like that.
It's why even have a dog if you're going to give it Xanax?
So the episode this is from is not out yet, so nobody's answered this. If you are listening to the show and you want to answer our questions, be sure to use the word scrambled eggs so that we know you have come from the show.
Yeah, we don't make fun
What
of you.
answers do we have so far on the dog therapy question, Jeremy?
This guy, Comanche Squaw, whose
Comanche Squaw.
qualification is studied amateur sex videos and daddy's sex slave at obedient sex slave, says that could possibly mean that the sky above you may turn putt pull.
That was a real twist.
People may think that Daddy's Sex Slave at Daddy's Sex Slave Incorporated is a good job, but you have to eat shit for 5 years as a junior associate, and you need an MBA to even get in the door.
Yeah, he's got a bright future ahead of him. Also, his profile is just a picture of an ass. So
The question is that him or is that daddy?
He is daddy.
This guy lives in Weatherford, Texas.
Oh, no, he's daddy's slave. That's that's basic reading comprehension.
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy may turn putt pull. This is a normal Quora user. What else do we got on here?
That's about it. Someone else said send Trump in his place.
Okay, thank you.
So that's pretty. That guy got him.
No need to get political.
Mr. Trump, you go to dog therapy.
What if Trump saw that and he killed himself? It was like everything else is fine, but he's like, I'm not a fucking dog.
He hates
This is how you
dogs.
people see me.
You don't need to cut up a Benadryl and give it to me in my food.
I've always wondered, like, how Trump would kill himself if he did. It wouldn't be like he wouldn't like shoot himself in the head. That's like too pedestrian.
Yeah.
He would like hang himself with like the belt of a silk rope or something.
It'd have to be a very sturdy silk robe, folks. It's not that kind of show. But there are no sacred cows here. We'll say the
Trump.
things. All right. Well, thanks for writing in if you answered our question for last week, but it's time to get into the thick of it. What's our first segment we got?
The Quoker are incel questions.
We have incel and manosphere questions. Again, the theme is Operator's Handbook. We're here live in the Quoker. What's our first question?
Okay, this is a really long one. The question is, how do I become a pimp? I know one. He's very wealthy, and the women he pimps are beautiful and love him more than any woman has ever loved me. Why is it that when I show girls love, they find that a turnoff?
Two-part question.
Why is he asking Quora and not the real pimp that he knows? That's his first problem.
Yeah. I think that like it's probably a who you know situation. So if you know a pimp, that's a great way to get into the pimping business.
Yeah, again, if you can get an internship of some kind with that pimp, just anything to get you in the door is good. Extreme not pimp activity asking Quora, I gotta say.
Yeah, that's not the place to ask. No one has answered it either. It says no.
Yeah, there are no pimps on Quora.
Quora's where the police officers go.
Yeah,
Why would the pimps be there?
Maybe this is a police officer who's trying to catch pimps.
It's a damn sting is what it is.
That would be a good method.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone, like a very helpful civic-minded pimp is like, here's what I did. Then boom.
We got your ass.
Keep your head up.
Just the police officer being like, being a pimp sounds so great.
This job sucks. What I like about this question, too, is the second part is just like, why is my love never reciprocated? Or alternatively, how do I become a pimp? Thanks for writing in.
When I love women, they're disgusted. It seems like two separate problems.
Women hate my ideas.
They love this pimp, though. They're really into it. They like being pimped out, I guess.
Do you guys remember when a certain weird Twitter star got run off Twitter in the last 2 years because people thought he was masquerading as a woman who was pretending to be a sex worker?
I think I do remember. I mean, I feel like this has happened more than once, though, right? I mean,
this type of thing has happened, but not this specific. This specific thing has only happened once. But like, I don't want to like accuse him of doing that, right? Because there's like no proof. It could just be
fair.
Like the fake sex worker blog is funny enough on its own, but I will always remember it. I will always remember the fake sex worker blog that was followed by a bunch of horny guys on Twitter. Because she said, my pimp actually checks for vaccination cards. And follows COVID protocol.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It just made me laugh so hard. Like, it was like, what?
Folks, it's not that hard, all right? If my pimp can do it, you too can wear a mask in the subway.
Social distancing is difficult in a pimping situation, I gotta say.
How can you follow COVID protocols doing that? What are you talking about?
All right, thanks for masking up. Now shoot your cum at me. 6 feet away. Jeremy's on the question actor's profile.
Oh yeah, I was just looking at this guy who asked the pimp question. He has like so many questions. He asks, if I injected fat into my stomach, is it still possible to burn it in the same way? I think I have COVID-19, but I'm scared I'll lose my job if I don't show up. What should I do? I work at a donut shop.
I guess we learned whether the pimpy knows follows COVID protocols or not. He does not check for vaccination.
He asked, how do I know if I have knockout power? Which is a great question.
I feel like there's a pretty established way to know.
Yeah, right?
This is, again, just talk to your pimp.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, here's another question. How many top tier people could handle an eternal gang stalking campaign?
Okay. Eternal?
What is it?
Eternal.
Eternal. So I guess like forever. They're just stalking forever.
I'm familiar with the Diablo difficulty Eternal, and I assume it's similar to that.
Is this one's gang stalking eternally or being gang stalked?
You're being gang stalked.
Okay.
And you're a top tier person. Felix, how much of gang stalking internet have you taken in?
Not only have I taken a lot of it in, a lot of people think that I'm gang stalking them.
And you're just one man.
Yeah, I'm just regular stalking them. I'm like, you idiot. Yeah, I'm going through your trash, but not with my friends.
It feels like I'm everywhere because I'm so good at it.
You're trying to get them involved like it's a board game.
Being accused of gang stalking is the highest form of flattery. but yeah, no, I have been accused of gang stalking at least 2 people. By those 2 people, not by a third party.
Sure.
It's the type of like gang stalking where it's like targeted individual people.
Right.
You know, where they're like, it's like the regular internet crazy person stuff where like I'll post a screenshot from like a movie I'm watching, right? And it'll be like a scene that takes place in a bathroom. And the person will go like, oh, you posted this because you are sending a signal that you put cameras in my bathroom. And I'm like, that's just a coincidence.
We got a similar accusation. There's a non-zero chance it's from the same person.
Yep, and I'm afraid to talk about them on the show, but
yeah,
it's a very similar scenario.
I probably shouldn't do this, like, because it is like escalating. Like these people have like found me in real life and like
wait, you're being gang stalked. They're gang stalking you.
I don't think it's gang stalking. It's like just these 2 people, and they're not working together.
Right.
Felix, you may be the top tier person who could handle an eternal gang stalking campaign.
I mean, yeah, it might be eternal. I don't know.
I don't see it ending anytime soon. There's actually one hidden answer. It said there weren't any, but we found one.
Yeah, it says, if you know about Havana syndrome, you will hear of certain American diplomats in Cuba consulate being attacked, hence the term Havana syndrome, Havana, Cuba.
Okay, but it was for this question because it says their expertise is they have for 4 years been a targeted individual.
So this person's saying that Havana syndrome is like being gang stalked.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, is this person like a resist liberal targeted individual? That's kind of fun.
I try to see what their politics are. I'm going on his profile. He keeps posting the Concrete podcast. I don't know what that is.
I don't know either, but I'd love to check it out. This is a great reference.
I refuse to promote this man's podcast.
This guy who thinks he's being targeted by the Cuban government recommends it. Okay. There's not a ton to work with in these because they're everyone who was going to answer it was killed first. It seems like. Their other question is: are there any gang stalkers in Autoria, New Zealand?
All right,
we don't know.
Oh my, yeah.
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. There's not that many people.
They're
there.
they're like I feel like that's a pretty idyllic life, gang stalking in New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's more
You don't follow
back.
people into some like gross ass alley. you get to see a bunch of scenic vistas. You get to walk down. Probably when you go and read their mail, it's like going to Bilbo Baggins' house.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel bad the one New Zealand city I know is Hobbit Town.
I'm targeted where they were going to crown Faramir. Cool. Okay, so we're continuing on with Operator Handbook here, but Felix, you are here, and we are going to break our regular rule and go into some political questions today in our regular political segment, which is the quiz course. These are the questions of the day. This is what people are talking about out in the street and at the cafes. This is from Tuesday. This is a recent question.
Okay, this question is, I'm a patriot. Is that illegal in America?
Yes.
It is.
Report immediately to the nearest police officer on Quora for your summary execution.
This was what Biden was mad about in that Time magazine interview. Is he was just like, I made patriots illegal. That was me. People are being very mean to this guy.
I hate when people ask rhetorical questions on Quora. It's like, that is so not what it's for. Can you fuck off?
You're going to hate 2/3 of this website. One guy says, nope, I'm a patriot too. That's positive reinforcement.
I like this guy who says time will tell.
Huh.
I can't tell what
No, that's
side
pretty
he's on.
sagacious.
Yeah.
You could put that one on anything.
Time will tell.
Opinions are never illegal, my friend. The guy who answered that also answered the question, does Trump have what it takes? And I bet he just wrote the word yes. So there you go. Any other answers that were good on that
He
one?
also recently wrote, I'm not getting treated for the clap. So I guess he's like a medical guy.
Okay.
A medical guy is a great way to describe someone who has illnesses.
He's kind of into medicine, although I guess not really.
He's into receiving medicine.
He's not, though. He doesn't receive it.
Okay, so everyone is fighting in this thread, and it makes me scared.
Someone said, depends on what you think a patriot is. Storming the Capitol to try to disrupt an election, neither patriotic nor legal. So if Hugh Brown has taken this guy to task. I love that people put their full names on here. It makes me so happy.
This could be an FBI agent.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just hate when you argue with someone on Twitter and their name is like the cum enjoyer. And on here, I can like see where this guy lives.
Yeah, they're always like, Hugh Brown, here's my address.
Yeah.
All right, I think this one's kind of tapped out.
Okay, let's read this next one.
Something more difficult here, a harder question.
Okay. This question is, I'm on the autism spectrum and want to help Ron DeSantis become president so woke will die because nobody cares about autistic people, only BLM and that gay stuff. Since it would break my heart if Ron loses, how do we push for him to win?
Now, this is unfortunately from a few months ago.
Was this from Christina Pushaw?
There's Jeremy is diving into it. It's very hard to find out who the question's from.
The person who asked it is named Frank Watson. He has a bachelor's in mathematics.
And he's banned from Quora.
He said his most recent question from 7 months ago is dating harder for guys because being rejected is just as painful as being in a gas chamber? I say this as someone 3% Jewish in DNA. Why are incels mocked when they reveal the truth?
Oh my, this guy is fucking beast. See, this is what Quora is for.
Yes.
Some of those questions may be rhetorical, but they speak to a deeper point.
No, I think this guy is serious. I think this guy is autistic specifically for helping Ron DeSantis become president.
Also, the gas chambers one was after Ron was out, so he's in a dark place right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
'Cause woke
exactly.
I feel like that, like DeSantis's like paid staff was like 80% this guy. It's like just a bunch of different iterations of this exact person.
It's got to be so hard to be this person but not be on the team, you know, because they are recruiting from your ranks.
It would be,
Yeah.
it would be sad if that was their strategy to just post questions on Quora. Like that was his big campaign move.
Get the word out. I don't care how you do it.
Announce on Twitter, and then we just slowly push autistic questions on Quora.
I forgot about that. I forgot the live Twitter. Is that a function you could still do on there? Are spaces still there?
I think they are.
Good for them.
Yeah.
No, yeah, spaces still exist. I still see spaces. Like I get like pop-up kind of ads for spaces sometimes when I log on, and it's like the same type of shit where it's like, are men ever justified in killing women? It's sort of like a more evil Quora.
I feel like unless you're announcing your candidacy for president, just a live space on Twitter sounds like the last place in the world I'd want to be.
It's like the modern salon.
It's an exchange of ideas.
I used to see my old boss in Twitter spaces all the time, and that's how I knew that I wasn't going to have a job for that much longer.
No, because he's a power entrepreneur.
He's learning. I think there's one answer on this. Should we read it?
Yeah.
On the autistic Ron DeSantis question, Jake says, you feel you are not well represented by left/center politicians. Fair. Few people feel genuinely represented by their politicians. But you want to go with DeSantis because you hate woke as a result of those feelings? Women voting, minorities voting, ADA, these things are all woke. Basically, everything you do with greater representation for those with differences would be considered woke under its current labeling.
Oh, so you're trying to talk him out.
Yeah, this guy's like...
Yeah,
talking him down.
This is a whole like newsroom type speech.
It's a lot longer, I'll tell you that.
But he tries to convince him to vote liberal, but then at the end he's just like, but hey, if you like DeSantis, you should donate to him and encourage your friends to vote for him. Like, that's all you can do.
Hey, I want him to win too. Yeah, he explains like the entire electoral process by the end of this. This is pretty interesting.
And then one guy just says brilliant.
Okay. Reddit gold. Okay, cool. I mean, it's too bad for autistic people how this worked out, but they had their shot.
I just think it's very funny to be like, hey, I'm a liberal. I don't agree with you. But if you like Ron DeSantis, the best thing you can do to end BLM is to just keep donating.
Yeah, that is like he's a good sport.
Just keep
Like,
showing up.
I don't agree with ending wokeism, but if you try hard and set your mind to it, well, may the best man win.
I don't want to get rid of that gay stuff, but if that's what you like.
I like his idea of like a BLM, but for like autistic guys who support Ron DeSantis. Like that's what people should be marching for.
It's like a really antisocial protest.
It's like he's not against wokeism. He just wants like wokeism to be focused specifically on him.
Yeah.
All right, we got a good one over here.
Okay, this question is, do you agree with Joe Biden, the Catholic president of the Democrats' statement that, quote, sorority girls are like a dirty public urinal in the park, not like a nice clean urinal in an office building, end quote?
So I read this one, and I was wondering if this is an actual Joe Biden quote. Because I know it's some asshole on the internet just saying it, so it's probably not, but it does also kind of sound like something he might have said if you let him go off for a while.
Yeah, it sounds like something Biden, not that he would say now, but like one of those insane quotes from the 80s that he has. Like, the ones that seem fake, but that he really said them and it's on video, like the ones where he's like, Serbs are disgusting.
As part of the anti-busing integration campaign. You have to talk about the sorority girls.
Well, so one of my roommates in college has become a famous TikToker by like asking people on the street about their relationships.
That's what's up.
I got to meet Joe Biden. And apparently, I didn't hear it from him, but I heard through another friend that apparently Joe Biden spent like 20 minutes being like, models used to text me all the time with photos. They'd send me letters of their nudes. It's just, that's what he's up to. He's talking to TikTokers.
By the point where he's getting texted, he's already old. He's already 60 years old.
He said that models would send him letters.
Yeah. He did. Like, have you ever read that profile of him from like when he first got elected? He tells the profiler, like, my Republican wife has juicy C titties and she's a genius. Like, that is authentic to how he sounds.
Yeah.
Though I don't think he wouldn't say that sorority girls are like urinals. He would be like, a sorority girl sent me a lithograph of her vagina.
I got a pigeon in my window again, and it's more tits.
I used to get erotic smoke signals from co-eds.
Yeah, he's a very high T individual to the point where like his last fibers in his brain, and he gets interviewed now where people like, are you too old? And he tries to fight them. And that kind of masculinity really shows up on a governor's mailing list. The urinal part's a little suspicious. I don't think that's not Joe right there. He wouldn't talk about something nasty like a urinal.
I don't know. I mean, he could have said it.
What are the comments here?
Someone said, I can tell just by your question that you're a MAGA going through the 7 stages of grief over the thought of your orange turd going to prison.
Destroyed.
Whoop, there it is.
Flawless victory.
I also like, we skipped over the Catholic president of the Democrats.
Well, he is.
Yeah,
That's just true.
Yeah.
It's undeniable that he is a Catholic president.
He has a master in the Vatican, and he sends him nudes. But I like one guy just answered, blocked, downvoted, reported, muted, go away. I don't like the things you're saying.
Someone else said that this guy posts porn on his profile, and it's probably illegal.
Come on, man.
It's just not true.
I'm not going to click it.
You could definitely post porn on the internet legally.
Just in case. I mean, I've never seen any.
Well, is he saying that it's like, is he saying that porn as a concept is illegal, or is he saying that the type of porn he posts is illegal?
We're all just daring Jeremy to click this link on my computer. And I'm not that curious about it.
to do it. I don't know.
Downloaded a book last week.
It says OP openly posting pornography. He has a weird thing about Catholicism going on. Be warned, he is clearly displaying pornographic images on his profile. I hate to speculate on the legality of it. Which I don't know.
You can.
That would be a crazy move to be like a pedophile, and you're like, oh yeah, here's a sample of my portfolio, right, for a profile.
Also, where I am working right now.
His profile was deleted, so it's very possible that it was something bad. I don't know.
Blocked and muted and reported and downloaded.
Yeah, he got by this guy Bernard.
Destroyed. Welcome to Bernard Zone.
Bernard knows French. He lives in North Carolina.
Hey, good for you, man.
So you've been blocked. Oh, actually, every one of his comments is reported, downvoted, blocked, and muted. Go hate somewhere else. So that's what he does. He goes on people's posts about Trump, and he says that.
He's the hero we need.
He has said it like thousands of times.
This is what the DNC is doing with the donations.
They should honestly replace like the current White House press secretary with him. Like, they can't get much worse, and this guy at least seems to have like some passion for it.
His consistency is admirable.
Is this a photo of Chuck Schumer? I cannot tell.
Okay, yeah, that does kind of look like, and this may just be old white racism, but it could be Chuck Schumer.
It looks
possible.
vaguely like him.
We can go to his house. He lives a mile from here.
being like a Chuck Schumer fan like that is insane.
Yeah.
That's more insane than putting possibly illegal pornography on your profile.
We should report him.
It could just be Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, he goes by his alias, Bernard Perrin.
Doesn't sound like a real name. What's he doing when he's not giving like speeches at colleges? I don't know.
Learning French.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's go to these medical questions.
That's enough politics for one day. Time to step down the halls of the local hospital to see what medical issues are going on Quora.com here on Quora MD.
Every time I am eating, diarrhea starts. What is the reason?
What is the reason?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like this is one of those unsolvable math problems. We don't have enough variables.
I would love to shit on it, but I've had the same problem myself. And would love to get down to an answer.
Yeah, but like usually you're like, oh well, I ate this. Is this causing it? This guy is just all. Is it happening when he eats regardless?
I would say
regardless
every
of
time I
content?
am eating, diarrhea starts.
I'm looking at his profile, and he's asked many questions. So maybe he can give us more answers. He does say I have type 2 diabetes. What do I eat to reverse this?
Does diabetes give you diarrhea?
I don't know.
They kind of sound similar. Does that do it? Is that anything?
They're similar words.
I am a doctor.
He has a lot of questions about weight loss. How do I become a jealous-free person? He has some questions about Islam. How many women have heartburn, he wants to know.
You know, if you have diarrhea a lot, you will spend more time on your phone than probably your average person.
Yeah.
So that is where you ask your Islam questions.
You did ask what happens to your health if you eat vegetables. So he's trying to figure it out.
He hasn't gotten anywhere yet.
No.
Wait, there's people guessing, though.
Yeah. This guy, Charles, who's an accountant, says you might have what is called dumping syndrome. As soon as you eat something, it just comes out.
Oh,
My
boy.
wife has a lot of this.
Don't bring your wife into this.
He says go to a doctor. Which is,
my wife has dumping syndrome.
This man's poor wife.
Somebody says it's IBS,
Yeah.
or as you may
there
know
go.
it, dumping syndrome.
Sounds like his wife's going to have dumping syndrome soon if he keeps posting this.
Oh my god. All right, there's a longer answer, and they're saying maybe it's an allergy. This is probably the most helpful one. Otherwise, I don't really know what to do with that.
Same thing happened to me, but what was working is that apart from homeopathy medicine, I manifest good health. I constantly think about the time when I was having no health problem. I always think positive that I'll recover soon. Maybe that's what you need to do. Just try not to. Manifest it.
Yeah, think about not being in the bathroom.
That's such bad advice. Just try harder.
Get out there. It's all no-nonsense medical advice.
Let's read another medical one.
All right, this is an interesting one. I think this will prompt some important debate.
How do people with IQs of 160 view people with IQs of 140?
Like dirt.
Yeah, like losers.
Like a dog, like a Jet Li style dog.
Who can play the piano.
Go learn piano, asshole.
They have deadly hands, but otherwise useless.
Deadly paws.
I've never taken an IQ test, and reading so much about it on here does make me really want to know.
We should take IQ tests.
If you take it and like you're hungover or something, is that just your score forever? Can you run it back?
No, dude, it's like the fucking Harry Potter hat.
Because people look down on you.
Soul. I think it's just like a bunch of puzzles, right? Like it's just like, figuring out like logic puzzles.
I love to do puzzles. I look down on people who can't do them.
I hate that there's a fucking AI answer at the top of this. It makes me so mad. I don't want to know what the AI thinks of people with IQs of 140.
Yeah, Felix, Quora has a new feature that no one asked for where an AI answers your question before it shows you the people.
I hate that.
It sucks.
It really is awful.
That's like completely defeats the purpose.
It's not going into the community, and I don't trust the AI more either, even when it's right.
That is just I hate to hear that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. This guy Joshua says, I have a friend with an IQ of 165 who once said to me, people with an IQ of 135, quote, they're bright, but they can't make the conceptual leaps. At which point we both said simultaneously, how can you say that? Because that's what people with an IQ of 135 sometimes say when you do make that leap, and they can't see how you got there.
Oh, man. Dude, he's fucking dragging you over. He predicted what you were going to say? Like Joseph Joestar? I couldn't show my face again after that.
That's because you have a low IQ of 135.
I can't make the leaps.
What's average IQ? That's like 120 or something?
Yeah, you would say that.
Oh, no, I can't make the leap.
When it's a different number.
Okay, apparently the average IQ is between 85 and 115, so I was way off.
Yeah, dude, we're a high intellect podcast. We can understand how low it goes.
85 to 115 seems like a really broad range.
Yeah, I thought under 100 was pretty bad, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought by that point you're like doing your taxes wrong and stuff.
Yeah, which means you're a fucking idiot.
I have a lot of thoughts on this test I don't understand. I don't know what it is, and I'm scared of it.
You cannot make the conceptual leap.
I will never take it. This post is around 7 years old, and I do think there was a jumping off point where like IQ discussion was very popular around like 2018 or so.
Yeah. This guy says my aunt 160 limited by testing in the 1930s, which were not calibrated the same as today. She simply answered all the questions correctly, viewed me 140 as her nephew. Well, that makes sense.
I view you as her nephew as well.
She knew that very few people could think and puzzle solve as quickly as she could. She became a corporate vice president in the era when there were almost no women in corporate leadership. That doesn't really answer any of the question that we're asking. But
freaking awesome.
Yeah, good for you, George.
Let's see your aunt sometime.
Guess what? People don't walk around with their IQ scores tattooed on their foreheads. So the main way one can determine how intelligent another person is would be to converse with them, to read something they wrote, or to review their work.
People know. They know. I can spot all these conceptualist toads I'm talking to all the time. They suck. No one likes them. I don't know. The only thing about IQ is I know when it gets too high, then you get sad, like David Foster Wallace.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty much a David Foster Wallace situation.
You start wearing bandanas a lot.
That's to cover your brain.
Oh, is that what it was?
To keep it safe.
It was like the woman with the red thing around her neck. If she took off the bandana, his brain would fall out. His brain falls out.
It was hit with a tennis ball at an unbelievable speed. Okay. Well, there's too many answers on this, and I don't want to read anymore.
All right, let's read another question. Do you go all out even if it kills you?
Fucking yes. I don't know any other way.
What, do you think I'm a fucking pussy? Of course I do.
No, not if it kills me. Thanks for asking.
I will say that this person's profile who asked this question is mostly dedicated to Julian Assange.
And by the way, who else went more all out than Julian Assange?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
He had to live in a cage for 5 years.
And it killed him.
He's around. Right? Did I miss something? Did Julian Assange die?
No, he's still alive.
He's around. I know he's not answering my emails, but I think he's still out there.
But don't you think it kind of killed him? Because he went all out.
It might as well have. He definitely did it to the max. The answers on this are of a wide range that I really enjoy.
Tim Gordon says, apparently not because I'm still alive.
Thanks, Tim. I'll vote for you.
Greg Wagner, who's a farmer, says, I'm handicapped. Among other health issues, I destroyed my rotator cuff back in 2014. I also dislocated my shoulder. I popped it back in and thought I was good to go.
All out. He's going all out.
In 2022, after having serious issues, I went to a doctor and found out that I had destroyed my rotator cuff. The doctor said it needs to be replaced, but not yet. Yesterday, I opened a jar of pickles. It was hard to do so. I used a dish rag to assist me. As I heard the lid pop, I was struck by a cramp and went all the way around from the front of my shoulder to the back. I have never felt anything quite like it in my life. Today, I'm still going, doing what I have to.
Even after opening that jar.
Is he saying that's what going all out is for him?
I think yes. I think he's saying for him, going all out is opening a jar of pickles and feeling pain.
You gotta understand, he's badly disabled from going all out previously. Now it's just the pickle jar.
And then later he says, I lost my wife in 2020.
Yeah, that's all out.
So
that is, he's all out of wives.
They're all gone.
It killed her.
Yeah, well, he's doing his best out there. Greg Wagner.
Going all out then was not getting a certain vaccine.
He graduated from the School of Hard Knocks and Defending Freedom in the U.S. Army.
Okay, I see. I'm seeing an image now. I'm seeing a guy emerge.
Yeah.
He lives in Missouri. Good for you, Greg. We salute you.
So after Greg, who undoubtedly gave like 4 examples of destroying his body and family by going all out, Tara below him just says, "Death is my gift."
Is that an evil spirit quote posting on Quora?
They also have a gift emoji.
Is that Shiva?
Check if it's Shiva. Oh, he has a lot of relationship questions if it's Shiva. Is tushy, tush, or booties the cutest word?
Yeah, then
she asks.
Tara says sweet bottom. So
thanks, Tara. You
All
rock.
right.
Okay, I'm my curiosity's satisfied here.
There's another answer that says, I do my best and my divine purpose hasn't finished, so God won't allow me to permanently die yet.
Oh.
And they're a tarot reader. That's their job.
He'll let you die. He'll let you like temporarily die, like over the weekend, but nothing permanent.
Those are all spirit journeys. Going all out for them, I guess his tarot reading is just like doing a really big ritual.
Yeah, I guess.
Doing a super reading?
I don't know what. Yeah, just giving everyone their tarot cards.
Reading a palm that's all kinds of fucked up.
It's a really calloused palm.
I don't believe in tarot reading, but my brother has gone to multiple psychics who've said he'll have a wife who dies young.
Really?
And he's like young, and he's scared of it now.
That's like really stressful.
Isn't it?
That's so weird.
He doesn't even have a girlfriend. He's terrified.
That would freak me out. Yeah.
Should he?
If that happened to me and like I got married, I would be like, we should go to City Hall and get you killed. Just get it over with.
Let's legally make a loophole.
Yeah.
That's probably better.
He should marry someone who doesn't like that much, just to like end that part of it.
Get her.
Oh
out
my
of
god!
the way.
Oh my god! Does he have like a greatest enemy out there?
I don't think so.
Has like one free kill.
Yeah,
at
there you
least.
go. Through marriage.
Usually you have to save up quite a bit for a kill. That's lucky.
That was one of my Dan Quinn things that I loved was his concept of a free legal kill on reservation soil.
What does that mean?
Dan Quinn, it meant that like if you really made Dan Quinn mad, he would challenge you to an MMA fight on like reservation grounds so he could legally kill you in combat.
Yeah, reservation grounds have an
And
Air Bud
just-
style loophole
Yeah.
for murder.
Yeah.
No one's ever tried to do it.
Well, if Jet Li is a dog, I guess he can kill you.
Yeah. There's nothing in the rule books that says that Bob Hoskins can't turn a man into a dog.
Okay, let's read another question. This is our
Forbidden fruit.
yes, our
Yes.
religion segment.
Now we're into the meat of it. So these are philosophical and high-minded questions.
all right.
We tried to get some from a variety of different religions here, but Felix, I think you're gonna like some of these.
Okay, this question is it true that Allah once said that Islam is a joke? I mean, I don't know why he would say that.
That doesn't
That
sound
doesn't
like
sound
him.
like a law.
Not the Allah I know.
He said that privately to somebody.
I mean, you have
love-
weird days where stuff slips out, but
I love the idea that like Allah is so tangibly verifiable and real that like we have like instances of him talking to somebody, but the religion he's from, not true. Bullshit.
it's a fucking joke.
Islam's a joke.
Allah is out there and he's like, oh, I wish I was Jehovah. My thing sucks.
There's 100 answers on this, but my favorite one is somebody who just all caps wrote, no!
Just Allah like sending messages to Joseph Smith, being like, "Why won't he dig them up?" This one guy said, "Actually, you are a joke, and not even a funny one."
That's correct.
That's from Dr. Jeff
Yeah.
Martin.
Killing spree.
Destroyed.
That is a killing spree. You've been destroyed by Dr. Jeff Martin.
This is what like got Salman Rushdie nearly assassinated. This was the book he wrote.
I would like to say that it's like a little safer to do it on Quora, except it's not, and they have all of your personal information now.
That's right. Yeah, I guess we could see who asked this question.
It's actually more dangerous than writing a book.
The person who asked this is named Muslima Friend.
Okay. Fake.
You sound like a Muslim enemy.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You think Islam is a joke?
Fake gamer girl, but for the word of Islam.
Yeah, he's a Muslim, but he's like, come on, guys. None of us are really taking this seriously, right? Like even Allah says it's a joke.
Hey, I can say that. It's my freaking name. Okay. So that one's tackled, but
Okay, I have another question here.
we've had this one in the doc forever.
These two questions.
Yeah.
Do Jews smoke weed or is it just cigarettes? There's no answers on
Yeah,
this.
that's a good question. Yeah, cigarettes are the only thing that is the only holy sacrament, not weed. unless you're Reform.
Yes, yeah. If
That's
you're
a whole
Reformed
different rule
Jewish,
book.
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It is kind of ironic to say that, though. Or is it no cigarettes and just weed?
If you're Reformed.
Yeah.
I grew up
Yeah,
Reformed, and we had a lady rabbi, so it was like all bets are off.
Because the stereotype, I don't know if you've met my good friend Joe Rogan, but it's they're smoking a lot of weed, like
Is Joe-
too much weed, maybe.
Is Joe Rogan Jewish?
Not
There's
to- oh,
no-
so I was thinking Seth
No way.
Rogen.
Oh.
Look, they have the same name.
I was like, I don't think Joe Rogan converted anytime recently, but that'd be an interesting move for him.
Look, I've been in the booth a long time today. I'm gonna get Joe Rogan and Seth Rogen a little confused. I think Joe Rogan could be Jewish if he sets his mind to it.
I would love that if he just started saying like Judaism is the one true religion.
He's got to wear the little
Yeah.
hat.
If he saw like the Hasidic tunnel, if he's like, that's fucking, he starts crying. That's so beautiful. They're building a fucking tunnel where they can cast their spells.
They're just going out and fucking doing it.
Yeah, the original monkeys that ate the mushrooms that gave them humanity, they originally dug tunnels too.
How much Joe Rogan lore do you know?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know that much. I have a friend who's really into Joe Rogan, so it's every now and then. But he'll do it in the way where he's like, I don't believe it, but it's an interesting idea if you think about it. And the big one is like the monkeys who ate mushrooms That's like a real thing.
That was from a more interesting period of Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, like when I listened to him, it was in like 2012 through 2014. And it was when he would have like this crackpot named Graham Hancock on. And Graham Hancock has like no credentials. He's just this like British old man who's like, and if you look at ancient lithographs, the Mayans had iPads. and it was all because they took mushrooms and smoked white owl blunts. And Joe's like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it sounds realistic.
That's when the show was great.
Yeah.
When it was just that or Eddie Bravo coming on and they would talk about like a guy who trained with them who ended up killing someone. Now it's just like, oh, I'm going to talk to Ben Shapiro. I can see that fucking anywhere.
Yeah, it's not really as interesting.
This used to be like a safe space for like complete crackpots.
It's such a strong premise for a show, right? And that's his undoing, which is the world's most gullible man will talk for 3 hours. And you can tell him anything you want.
He's a sponge.
It doesn't have to be about the economy.
Having like wasting that on like just normal Republicans, it is such a boring use of that concept. I got so mad when he's like, oh, I have a really interesting thinker on Mercedes Schlapp.
Youngmi Park is going to tell us a lot about God.
There was a clip going around about Joe Rogan I liked recently where he was going off on how like everyone's taints are shrinking. And that's because the entity AI is trying to turn all of humanity genderless so that they can't have babies anymore. And then we have to rely on AI. Like as if it's like Skynet or something.
Through the taint.
That was his argument.
Taint first.
Has he ever used AI? Like, I don't think they're capable of that.
Yeah, no, it's ChatGPT. That's what it's trying to do. It's turning us all trans.
If ChatGPT gets like shittier the more you use it, I don't like if you lose your taint to ChatGPT, that's kind of on you.
Hey, erasing the human taint is a lot easier than, I don't know, illustrating hands. Something a robot can do.
If you like ask ChatGPT how to do your taxes, it will be like, I don't know, maybe try changing your gender.
You need new clothes.
Puberty blockers.
Let's do this next one.
Okay. So yeah, the answer is that Jews smoke weed and cigarettes.
Correct.
Okay. Last question
We're
here.
smoking. Is
it acceptable to greet a Jew by saying, hello, Jew?
Hello, Jew.
Yeah, you know what? I don't, if that works for your friend and you, why not?
I think, yeah, it really comes down to the tone, I guess.
You got to get the pass. I don't know if you can pull it off.
Someone says, only if you accept being greeted as moron.
Destroyed.
Boom.
A little slow on that one, but it still counts.
Life's question says, what is wrong with you? That is highly inappropriate, and you know it. Stop with the foolishness.
What if he doesn't know it?
I think it's a reasonable
That's why
question.
he's asking.
This is the best kind of question, is one that seems like it's a troll post, but I think it's just a legitimate question somebody has from a Jew-free area.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is a guy who lives in like one of the Dakotas, and like his like sister married a Jewish guy, and he's like, oh no, what do I do?
I want to make sure I get his title.
How do
right.
I greet him?
There's an answer here from Joyce Wright that says, as long as I can greet you by saying hello, bigot.
Oh my God.
I've
Wow.
complained about this before, but I really don't think it's smart for Jewish people to be like, the word Jew is offensive. The word to describe us is actually a slur.
It's so like you are just confusing people if you do that.
It's an insane thing to decide.
It's a powerful naming choice.
It reminds me of the joke from 30 Rock where they're like, I'm Puerto Rican. Don't call yourself that. No, it's like the actual country we're from. Oh, it just feels wrong.
Sezi Kontuch says, even in the age of hypersensitivity and cancel culture, that is an outrageous and unacceptable thing to say. On both sides of the aisle.
This is an anti-woke person being like, that's a bridge too far.
That's a
lives of
decision.
TikTok.
The whole thread, everyone says you cannot say hello, Jew. It's decided.
It's so mean.
People are so fucking mad about this.
Yeah, no one ever like gives a reason why it's bad too. So this guy like he'll have no idea why he's not supposed to do that. They can't explain it. They can't explain why it's bad.
Well, there's this guy here whose name is Brian Overland, and he says, as a Gentile, I have a hard time to imagine anything more insulting, which I actually,
that's suspicious.
I have a pretty easy time imagining more insulting things.
in fact, many of them I won't say. He says, psychologically, it's almost like going around slapping a yellow 6-pointed star on the shoulder of every Jewish person.
And when that happened in the 1930s, that was not a good thing.
And then he says, let me give you a comparison. Suppose you are a Christian, and I know a number of Christians who are among the best people around. Someone greets you on the street saying, hello, Jesus worshiper. Okay, so that I think most Christians would love that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, that's like how they greet each other.
Yeah, they're super on board to be like, oh, you can tell.
Yeah, we love to bring it up. It's kind of our whole thing.
Yeah, if you walk around Brooklyn enough, someone will say hello, Jew to you, and it'll be an Orthodox Jewish man.
And he's trying to get you good.
I usually had such good muscle memory for that happening. Like, my move always was to say that I was Turkish, and nothing would happen to me. But I was the last time I flew to New York, it was like a red eye, and I think like just a combination of like being tired and like being on an airplane. I didn't have my wits about me, and I was seated across from this like Hasidic guy, and he asked me, and I regret it to this day, I answered truthfully, and he was like, "Oh, it's Sukkot," and I was like, "Yeah," and this fucking guy made me shake a tree branch and hold a lemon with him.
Oh no.
I wanted an air marshal to step in so bad.
My wife is Jewish, and we walk around together, but she because they're Hasidic, they aren't supposed to talk to or touch her, I guess. So we'll be together and they'll just ask me if I'm Jewish. And it's like a long road to go to get once we get him in on it, we move over to his wife. But no, in the future, we're all Turkish in our house. That's a fantastic move that I'm stealing now.
Yeah,
It really works.
It's a system that works.
I don't know if that would work for you, Alex.
I'm Turkish.
You're the most Massachusetts Catholic.
I can't go outside in the sun. I'm the one Turkish man.
Have you ever seen Erdogan's sons? They're like gingers.
Not one
there you
time
go.
have I seen them.
And anyone can be Turkish.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a beautiful way of saying that.
That's how we'll be ending the show from now on.
Hello, Turkish.
Anyone could be Turkish. All right. We gotta close down here. Let's think of a question.
Oh, yeah. Felix, do you have any questions you'd like to ask Quora? And we can see if anyone answers it.
Like a question in the style of a Quorarian.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it up and see what people comment on it.
Okay. All right. Okay, this is tough, but I think I can get something. How do soldiers celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, put that in.
Question.
Type it up, put it
Soldiers.
in. You don't even need spelling errors on that. All right, we're doing that. We're closing out the show. Felix, thank you so much for coming on. Where can our listeners find you at home and abroad?
You can find us anywhere where podcasts are uploaded: SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Chapo Trap House, and patreon.com/Chapo Trap House.
Run, do not walk to the Chapo Trap House store. In the meantime, if you'd like more of our show, every Thursday we have episodes where we go on other websites, LinkedIn, reddit.com. That one time we went on Blind, then we're not going back there. Don't look for that. And that's all on patreon.com/Quorators. New episodes every Thursday. We already said the live show, which we all remember. And as we say every week, anyone can be Turkish. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.